Rooftoppers, Chapter 18, Part 1. Right, Sophia and Matteo are still feeding the birds. They've only just finished, and they've only just reached where Matteo lives. Yeah? It wasn't half an hour before Sophie would let Matteo lead onto the rope side. It was only the threat of the rising sun that made her give in. As soon as Matteo had backed onto the roof and tugged her after him, Sophie's legs started to shake. She staggered 3 steps towards the center and collapsed. Are you all right? Said Matteo. Do you need help? No, I think I'm fine. It's just my legs that aren't. She poked her calf muscle and it gave a spasm. I think they'll be normal again in a second. I'll just sit here if that's all right. You're an odd color. Do you want to sleep for a minute? I have a blanket. Or it's a sack, but no, I couldn't sleep. I'll just sit. Right. I'll make a fire. Where? Here? Of course not. Don't be stupid. It has to be by the chimney stack, so the smoke looks like it comes from the chimney. You stay there. Don't go anywhere. It was a few minutes before her legs would let her stand up and look around. The rooftop was large as a town square and smooth slate. Sophie stamped tentatively. Her legs seemed solid again. A plume of smoke rose from the center of the roof. Sophie walked, or rather limped, towards it. Matteo was squatting behind the chimney stack, feeding a fire with wood. From the look of it, it had once been a chair. He wore a sack over his shoulders. Matteo, Sophie's eyes widened. Is this all yours? She hoped he wouldn't be able to see in the dark how impressed she was. Of course. Who else's? At Matteo's feet was a pile of arrows, tied in bundles, neatly stacked against the chimney. There was a pile of apples, a tin saucepan, and a kettle. A heap of rough-cut wooden spoons, glass jars filled with nuts. There were 2 sacks. Sophie peeked inside. One was filled with leaves, and another filled with bones. Here, sit. He handed her a cushion. Did you make this? It was sacking on the outside, but soft and thick. Of course. What is it made of? Sophie kneaded it. It was softer than anything they had at home. What's the stuffing? It's just pigeon. Fluff? I don't know the word. Down? No, not down. Down is like not up. That soft white you get under the pigeon feathers, you know. But, he said, I use the outer feathers too, of course. I use everything, even the bones. You don't let them go when you've taken their feathers. Let them go? Of course I don't let them go. I mean, they're dead. I don't pluck living pigeons. That would be very difficult for me and very confusing for the pigeon. So you eat them? Yes, I cook and I eat them. He took out a knife and held it out to her. With this, sometimes if it's raining and I'm hungry enough, I skip the cooking. Do you eat the bones? I boil them for soup. Is it nice? No, it's disgusting. It's like glue, but it's better than nothing. And the outer feathers, what do you do with them? He was such a peculiar creature that she would not have been surprised if he had worn them as a cloak. She would not have been surprised, in fact, if he had sewn them into wings. Look, that there. No, there. Further along the roof, stretched between the 2 chimney stacks, there was a sheet. Sophie jogged over to look more closely. It was sewn with layer upon layer of pigeon feathers. It was oddly greasy, but beautiful. Under it was a bed made of sacks. She needed the mattress. It was the same soft down as her cushion. The feathers are waterproof, said Matteo. She had not heard him come up behind her. It works like a tent, only it was free. It wouldn't be warm, though, Sophie thought. It would be no real protection from the wind. Matteo, what do you do in winter? How do you stay warm? Couldn't you go to the orphanage just for the winter? No, but I did once. There was a fight on a rooftop in the north and I got cut, a bad one. It turned septic, and as he spoke, he tucked his right hand under his left armpit. I thought I had no choice. Matteo poked the fire too hard. It sparked, and Sophie ducked. He said, there were iron bars on the windows. I can pick a lock, but nobody can pick an iron bar. But why would there be bars? Did people try to break in? No, children tried to break out. But once they know you exist, they don't let you leave. It's illegal to be homeless in France. Did you know that? Sophie hadn't known. It sounded the craziest law in the world. But you left, didn't you? Yes, through a chimney. I should never have gone there in the first place. They're still looking for me. For me, and for some others. They put notices of runaways in the post offices. Did you know that? But why? Why did you run away? I mean, what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. It was like hell. The same thing every day. They shouted if we talked to each other at meals. They shouted if we laughed. Really? Sophie was stunned. I mean, literally? You have no idea, Sophie. It was like being nailed shut. I can't risk going on the ground again. It is better for people not to know I exist. He turned away and ran a twig under his toenails.